Hello everyone,
Hey
we're live for our
friends,
GBE event today,
it's me, Cynthia,
and Azalea.
and we're Green Girl Studios.
Look at our fancy new border. I
Yeah.
spent some time making that this morning.
Oh, she's talking about the border around our StreamYard.
And we have a
It's
new background.
and we have a new background.
Stepped it up professional style. So hopefully it's showing up the way it should, and you can see all that information and all of our hard work. Because we got up early today and got everything ready, and we're actually here on time.
Yeah, what do you know?
I
Things
know,
are changing.
I know.
So we have a bunch of fun things to show you guys today. We have a new kit that I'm going to show you in like a minute, and a new clasp, and that's going to be a good time. Oh, we have people already commenting. Hello, friends. Hello from Atlanta, Facebook user. I think that's from when you have StreamYard. Then you have to say, let StreamYard use your sign in. So I'm not sure why it's that way. So, but we can't read your name until you let them have the time. All right. Well, we have an hour today, and we're going to try and keep with it. Oh, a person from Asheville. Hello,
Hello,
Julie.
we're
Hello,
also in
Clem.
Asheville.
We're in the woods with you. Yes, yes. Meryl, hello. Jeanette. Hey, from Maryland. It is good to see everyone here today. We're at a different time. We usually go at 7 on Sunday night. So it is good that we made it
I know,
early.
we did it on time. We got all of our stuff ready, all professional, and we're actually here. So I'm very pleased. We've only been on for like a minute, 2 minutes, and we already have 79 people here. So thank you guys for joining us today.
All
We
right.
have a new kit to show you that just went live on the website, and we have some lot sales because we know how much you guys like to do the lot buying. And also, Mom's gonna do a couple demos today,
I got
and
a
that's our
couple. Some
segment.
of them you've seen. Some of them, since I only have an hour to get something to you, instead of the usual, I usually do a wax work or some kind of thing like that. This time I'm going to show you two things. I'm going to show you the easy one first because the one is for Optivisor's time, and I might have to go in tight to see that. So we're going to take the phone, and you're going to see a little bit of the background, and we're going to plug into our high-tech
Our
whatever
high-tech
this
arm
thing is.
tripod thing.
Tripod.
All right. So, since we're limited on time and we can't go our usual hour to 2 hours, we're going to get started right away.
Yeah, we only have an
All
hour,
right.
so we have to
So, what we're going to do first is we're going to move the phone to the other tripod and then we're going to flip it. Oh, oop. Sorry, guys. You can look into Mom's eyes while I fix this. All right. Now we have to go in here to settings, camera. StreamYard is a pain sometimes. All right.
All right, there we go.
Now, here we go. Perfect.
All right, I will show you guys.
Oh, real quick before we start, let's ask people how the audio sounds today.
How does the audio sound?
So we're using my headphones.
Setup. We're using Azalea's headphones. Let's show the kit first. Let's show that. So Azalea just loaded this. Where is it? Oh.
Look how good our border looks. I'm so excited about that.
We painted these the other night. Okay, so we have people say audio is great. Awesome.
Yeah, boy.
So, oh, guess what I did? Here you go. This is the new. This is going to be available on pewter. I might have 2 or 3 of these in silver, but this one's silver. And that's a moon. And then look at the button to go with it. It goes like this. So Greg had a good idea. He said, hey, this could be a separate thing. And I was like, yeah, because this could be a pendant like this, and you can dingle dangle stuff from this hole because it's right there. But it fits like this. So it kind of has doesn't that kind of remind you of like when the moon is, you can kind of see the dark part, and then there's like a bright crescent sliver. That's what that is. And then both sides are detailed. That's the dark side of the moon. I tried to get it as accurate as I could. It was not easy because I kept fiddling with it, So anyway, that's this. And that's going to be in this. And this kit, I don't have a ton of them. I only have like 30 or so. And this, let me get in there and see if you guys can see. There is enough here to do 2 bracelets if you do a mala style. And can you go get one from in my back, or that's over there in that little display over there, Azalea?
Oh, a mala?
Yeah, the mala
Oh, yeah,
bracelet.
also tell them that that won't be packaged like that in the tin. Yeah, it'll have a nice bag and whatever else. I'm glad that everybody can see our nice setup and they like it.
No, the bracelet, to show the bracelet. This is the big one. And what I have in here is a different finishes, like they're all about 8mm, but since they're handmade, they can vary between like 10, like 9.5. I mean, it's a very small difference, but you can kind of see it here. This is not the same, but you could make 2 bracelets and some earrings, or a half mala, which is half of this. So this colorway here is called Porcelain Berry, and this is on the website right now. All right, so I'll show you. I had some people ask earlier about how and I haven't had a chance to make the video, so I'm just going to show you how I do this. Now, this is Ceylon. You can do, I'm going to show you. Okay, so
We have to try not to move too far apart from each other because then the audio gets weird. We have to sit close the whole time.
all right. Okay, so this is Ceylon, Eslon. I believe it's the same product. What it is nylon. You can use silk, you can use hemp, but what I'm doing is I'm using 2 strands, right? 2 strands or 2 cords. Now, you can do this. There's a lot of different ways to do this. This is how I do it. So, if you have another way, you can let us all know what it is. But this is my way. All right, so I take the 2 like this together. This is fray check, and put a little bit like that, and we're making a needle. This is what we're doing right here. You can use whatever you have handy. Some people like nail polish. That is Faber-Tack will work. Okay, so this is what we're doing right here. See that? I'm making a needle for these 2. I will not let that sit for a minute. You want it to be stuck together. Leave that to set up. That's Faber-Tack works. Whatever kind of firm glue type situation you have. Okay? We'll put that there so you guys can see it. All right, so this is going to take a minute to dry. And while that's happening, I'll talk a little bit about how I lay out my blends. But I'll go fast because I don't want to take too long today, because who's after us? Is it Kay? Kay? You guys know Kay from Stars Flats. She's a good friend of ours. So we'll just flip this so we have a workstation.
The orders for this kit are coming in.
Oh, I know, I can see them.
People that it's available on the website. It's
So, Porcelain Berry, it's on the website right now. So you can either decide to do this where you set out beads in a, let me see how close I can go. Is that still in focus, daughter?
Yeah, looks fine.
Okay, I'm gonna try to, you should see that it's lit up like a bead show up in here, which means it's bright. If you've never
I've
known
been
a bead
saying
show.
that.
Okay. So I like to lay these out in a gradient, but you don't have to do that. Some people like to do it where it's completely like where it's like alternating colors, but I love a shift. So what I'm doing is going from darkest to lightest, and I'm going to shift through those colors. Okay, so this is all really good quality amethyst. So I have some that are really dark. And then I'm going to go in at this point like this. And you can see that there's a little bit of a size difference because I put this one next to one that's a little smaller. And if you don't like that, you can shift it. You can easily shift these around till you get the palette that you like. I love a good shift. So as you can see, that one is going from the darkest purple, shifting to green. And you can keep going to go to the blue. And that would make a really pretty bracelet right there. Actually, this is probably enough right there to be knotted in between it. And so you can see there's a lot of beads left. So that's one way I would do that. I'm going to check this. It's still, this takes only a few minutes to dry, but it's still a little soft. So I'm going to let it sit for a minute or so more. And as you can see in here, here's one of my favorites. This is Dolomite. I love this stuff. Beautiful. It really has that porcelain berry look. And if you've never seen a porcelain berry, go ahead and look online at Google pictures. They start off where they're green, like a light green, kind of like this color. And they move through a spectrum of colors till they're like this. And they are one of my favorite plants. They're poisonous, I think, but they are really beautiful. So that's kind of the palette right there, the porcelain berry plant. It's almost exactly the color. I've done watercolors of it. I just love it. And I'm pretty crazy about this strand here. There's a little bit of metallic in there. It's really pretty. Okay, so let's see if this is how this is going. All right, so this is, it's been about 5 minutes. Are you checking comments if anyone has any questions? Because I've been kind of fixated on this.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start with this dark purple. So I made this needle with the glue and stuck those together. So we have two free. These guys are right here. They're not. I didn't pull out too much of the thread, so there's like a ton of yardage. That's one of the things I did not like about the old school way of knotting. So what you want to do is to not fall short, which I do pretty much every time I make a necklace. When I cut first, and there's a way to do it where you measure out 1 inch per knot, and I am never organized enough to get it to count it and like measure it and everything. So I'm going to string first. As you can see from this threading, it's pretty easy to do. These have great big wide holes, so it is no problem to fit 2 things through there. Now you might have noticed that I had 2 different sizes of thread. I haven't really noticed anything happening with that. Now, if you make like a tassel, that might be more obvious where you have 2 different weights of thread showing. But personally, I don't think it matters. So you're threading everything on. That's not quite a good. Let's redo that one. I don't love that. We'll do this one instead. That looks pretty good. This is my favorite part of this is getting the blend.
Ask him for audio has changed again.
Why?
Just ask him.
So did the audio change, you guys? Oh, Kate. You know what, Kate? This is fresh off of, I'm going to interrupt my own self, and I'm going to show you guys what Greg just finished. I sent this to Kate in the picture. Look at this, Kate. Tell me what you think. This is sterling, and I'm going to send this to you. I'm going to make a couple more and send them. What do you guys think? This is a special clasp I made for my good friend Kate Richburg. This is going to be for beadshop.com. And it has a little piece of a poppy leaf. Isn't that so pretty? So this is what it looks like on the back. I detailed the back. So that's like the back underside of the poppy. And if it flips over, like sometimes my necklaces do, you still get a nice detail. And this would look great. I mean, there's so many potential things. So this is going to go live next month when Azalea and I go visit our friend Kate. gotta go visit her to see the cure. Hurry, I'm gonna hurry up and get this done because we don't have much time. Not to make you guys feel frantic. I don't want anyone to feel frantic. But I'm trying not to be. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I tend to like maybe 16 beads on there, I think is a good amount. I think that's how many I put on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15 beads. Obviously, whatever your size is, if you want to make it a little bit longer, because sometimes if you want your bracelet to fit low or high up on the wrist, you can do that.
People are saying the audio is being weird. Go ahead and touch that little piece on your headphone and hold it until it says something. It makes a sound.
Am I doing it now?
Yeah.
Is that right?
What it said.
Didn't do anything.
You just hold it until it says something.
I'm still holding it. Here, just take it. Maybe take it off. Put it in the case because it's not. We'll just have to go without it. Okay, so sound is getting softer.
Because I took the headphone out.
Okay,
They should
how
be
is it
disconnected
now?
by They should be off. Yeah, it's because something is covering the mic case. They're back in the case. Yeah, they're better because
Okay.
we disconnected it. But you know what? In a couple minutes, we can try them back on because the audio was really good when we started, and then it kind of drifted a little bit as we went on. But we should try it again in a few minutes.
Okay, so where this needle is on this side, this is the needle side. You're going to want to leave it a little bit. Maybe if you want to add extra, I always leave extra because thread is cheap. So I leave like, I don't know, 10 inches. And then what you're going to do is you're going to knot it. Needle side, not the side with the cord, because you're going to need that side. All right, so there you go. One first knot. So you get a nice big knot, and then see, everything is following it back behind here. So then you go like this, pull through. Now, if you make your thread too long, then you're going to have to fight with it. So don't make it too long. And I mean the tail on this side where your needle is. Now, here's the best part of this. I'm not using any tools or pokers or anything. But the reason is that I can do this. I can slide it down and then do this. Look at this business. You can open up the legs on that, tighten it, and then look how snug. Completely snugged up there. Then you grab the next bead. And so see how this is being pulled all the way? See, you have two. Now, you can do one thread that's really thick. I bought this nylon cording that was dyed already. I dye my own a lot of times if I want a color variation. And this goes fast. I can make this whole thing. I'm not going to take the whole time and show you this because I have other things to show you. You see I'm cooking now. So if you get one, all right, so this happens sometimes. This hole on this one is massive. So if you come across that, go back and double knot it. No one will know but you. And you're just making a teeny bit of a bigger knot. See that? A little bit bigger. Well, you know what? Measuring is a gamble, and I avoided, so see, you can see right there. It made a great big knot, but you push it in and it's hardly noticeable that it's two. But it won't be swallowed up inside the bead, which that kind of annoys me when that happens. So I don't recommend it for that. And you can see the same size. The hole can just go right through it. See that? Now, if you come across that, divide up your knots, so just like that, just how I pulled. And we're going to double knot that side. I use my thumb. I am not coordinated. I know some people can hold that all in their right hand and do it. But for me, it's a little, I don't know. It's like holding pliers and knotting. It's not my best. Okay, so I'm not going to do all of these, but I bet I could. But I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me do 15 of those.
People are saying it was a knotting rich weekend.
It was so much nodding. But you know what? I feel like things have a trend time, like when things are popular. Because we're watching each other work, I mean, I'll watch Kate do something and we'll be inspired by each other. So that doesn't surprise me. Because sometimes I find that what's in the collective, the collective unconscious. Oh, you've been pulling the knots tight. Yeah, the thumb. Yeah, pearls are wonderful. I avoided knotting pearls for many, many years because I bought that tool, and I for real could not get that to work, and I felt kind of clumsy with it. I just use my thumb, and it seems to work. So if I have a part where it's a little loose, you can just divide them up and then tighten it. You see how I did that? Easy. And you can see that in like, I don't know, 5 minutes or however long I've been doing this, it goes quick. So your knotting game is not so, laborious where you're taking forever. And then if you make jewelry to sell at markets or on consignment, your profit is not in spending your whole life knotting. And then, that's not good. So if you get where it's a little bit like one thread, just pull it just like that. Oh, thank you, Kate. I'm doing my best. Oh, there's all different kinds of methods. There's all different kinds. And that's the thing, is everybody has a little bit different way to work. It's just like with knitting. Though people will say, oh, I only knit English style and I only knit, continental style. The thing is whatever works for you. I can't knit English style, which is considered throwing. It kills my wrists and I can only do a few rows before I have to stop. Then I discovered continental and I can knit for hours. So this might work better for you. It might not. So just keep that in mind. There is no right way to do anything unless it's driving. There's right and wrong ways to drive. So keep that in mind. We're going to practice today with driving. So
We have 260 viewers right now. That's crazy.
oh,
Thank you
Sherry,
guys
she
for
used
showing
two.
up.
You made that and it took you a while? No. See how fast this is going? I could be done with this in no time. No time at all. But I also have this heavier cord. So sometimes if you have a lightweight silk, and silk sometimes wants to jump away from you. Oh, yes. I would agree with that, Marcy. She says double thread makes the bracelet sturdier. You can see that. I have this necklace that I made. It's one of my favorites. It's a little heavy. It's from the original Mala kit. So this one, you can see here. This is on a single thread. And what I did was I strung everything first, put it on one spool, and put it in my purse so I could knot wherever. I am not good at gauging how long to cut my thread.
You could use the tin as your travel.
Oh yeah, the
project
tin makes a
case.
great project case. You could just put a little piece of felt
Yeah, you get
or
the kit,
Bullocks
you put
blanket.
you get the kit, you get some thread, and then you can knot on the go.
You can knot whenever. I find this a very meditative and peaceful practice.
We're at the
And
23-minute mark.
okay, Zoe says 23-minute mark. 23-minute mark. So what these are, they're considered like a mala is basically a prayer necklace, and or like a rosary. And my mom, she's Catholic, and she does her rosary every day, but she does a different style of prayer. She does a gratitude bracelet or necklace in her prayer, and each time she'll say, "Oh, I'm thankful that my family is safe," and then she'll knot it. And it's kind of like being present and really focusing on something nice and healing while you're working on it. And sometimes people will say, oh, it doesn't really matter. But I kind of think that energy you can kind of feel it. If someone has a negative energy and you make something. Okay, so here's a teaching moment. I went too far away. For me, that's too far away. I don't like that millimeter there that's sticking out. That is no bueno. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it a little bit. This is where your awl comes in handy. And you just need to pick out a little bit to loosen it. I'm just loosening it ever so slightly. Okay. And then, if you can, I tighten the heck out of that. So what you do is you get a needle tool, the awl. I don't know what I did with it, but you just go into the middle and slide it gently. So I didn't untighten that enough, but that might take, this is where you get slowed down, is when you're talking and you're not really paying attention to what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to read comments at the same time as talking about prayer and gratitude. I have a little bit different. I like to think of it as like meta kindness, and that's a Buddhist term. But I think it's kind of a good way to think of like meditation in general. For me, I like to put that kind of spin on it. So metta is where you have a feeling of peaceful, loving kindness. All right, so I just picked that out. You can see it's a little bit bigger now, that hole. And if you have your awl handy, you don't need to pick like I did. You just go in there with a needle. So I've made it a little bit looser, and now I can push it. There, I loosened it. Now I've got it back on track. So I no longer have the gap. Okay, so there you go. That's one that I fixed that gap of about 1 millimeter. Now, it wouldn't have been super noticeable. I have several gaps on this necklace, and it's not, let me see if I can find it. It kind of makes me crazy. Right here, look at this. Ugh. I know, not a big deal, but I don't love that. So I didn't catch that until the end. And sometimes that can happen if you don't tighten these up all the way and you just keep moving on. You can get a tiny bit of a little bit of play in there. So as you can see, that's almost, let's see, I only have a few left. Oh, I was talking about meta kindness. So what I like to do is, okay, 30 minutes. 30 minutes is always telling me to hurry up. Oh, I know. I have a bunch of stuff to show. I just like to think of imagining myself sending peaceful kindness to somebody or to the world. And that's what I do while I'm making my necklaces. And I feel like you can kind of feel that energy.
Especially with the knotting.
The knotting definitely brings that about. Okay, so I'm going to show you next the whole point. I made this earring thing inspired by my friend Emily made a beautiful pair of earrings. And so I wanted to do a kind of a riff on that. And so I have some soft flex wire here. Oh, you have your first knotted necklace? Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. Okay, so with this craft wire, I like it. You can use whatever wire you have. This is the next thing. We're going to do quick.
We're going to put out a coupon code at the end of the video.
Oh, right. We have a coupon code, just like everybody else today. So we'll let you know what that is, as Zoe's been working on it. Oh, Marcy says, I think the stretch with use, yes, that definitely happens. Maybe the double thread won't stretch as much. You know, I wore this bracelet for several weeks. And this one, if you look closely, you can see I used 2 different colors of thread. And this was big thread. So depending on the size of the thread, you can get bigger or smaller knots. On this one, I wanted the knots to be a little more of a design element. So I used 2 of the same thicknesses. This I had matching colors. But your thread is like a design element. So don't forget about that fun part. Okay. So with this kit, in here are some teeny tiny, I mean, they're small. I think they're the smallest kyanite I have ever seen. Check that out. Isn't that cool? So that is in the kit too. I love them. There's also, what's this? Larimar, some Larimar. There's some little pink opal sequins. Okay, so I left these on the strand and I didn't knot the end because it wasn't enough to knot. So here's how I do this. Okay, first, get yourself some rosary pliers. These are rosary pliers.
I know them as needle nose.
Azalea calls them. Oh, thank you, Kate. We're trying.
We're trying our best.
Aren't you supposed to pre-stretch elastic? Sherry says. I don't know about that. I feel like if you pre-stretch it, you're going to stretch it out till it doesn't work anymore. That's like kind of like underwear elastic, right? You don't want that to be like too pre-stretched. So I just cut off a piece of craft wire. You can obviously use whatever wire you like. Silver, you got it? Use it. You got gold plate? Go for it. Whatever you like. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this like with my face hovering above this because it's kind of hard for me to see it. Now, my wire work is not, let me see, make it so you guys can see that. Aren't those round nose? Yeah, they're round.
That's what I called it.
You know what? People told me that's called a rosary plier. I don't know why.
I guess it's just depending on what you're using it for.
Or where you're from, maybe. Okay, so I'm doing this. I'm making a round loop. You guys if you don't like the way I'm making the loop, then you make it your way. Everybody does things differently. This thing has little rounded off things so I can go in there. I don't have my optivisors on, so I can't exactly see it, but I can kind of see that went in there. So what you're aiming for is a loop. Okay, that is not perfect. I don't think I've ever made a perfect loop. Maybe I did and I just didn't know it. But my loops are rarely perfect.
So I'm going to comment the code.
Okay, so Zelly's going to put that code on there. All right, so this is a really pretty piece of, it's pink and blue. I don't know. These are not dyed stones. They're natural. Okay, so that's on there. That's one of those 8mm. Kate sent me these. They're clips. You can stop things with them so they don't get lost. Now here's the tricky part of this. This is the tricky part. I'm going to put some on this. Wrapping it. I'm going to use this other craft wire from Parawire, or maybe it's Softlex. I don't know if it is. Oh, this is, 22 gram. 22 gram. This is a little bit thinner. I don't know let me turn the spool over. I don't want to show you what I did because you guys will be like, what in the heck happened? You'll be like, Thornton. Okay, I'll show you. So sometimes this happens to the wire. If this happens, then you almost need to cut that off. I had to cut a piece off. All right. I'm going to take this off for now because I don't need it on there. I was just demonstrating that I was going to use that. So the tricky part of this is to attach this 24 gauge wire. This is a different color. It doesn't really matter about your color. Some people like double color. Some people don't. It's all up to you what you like. All right. Oh, rosary pliers have a cutter? I didn't know that.
I thought it was below the nose.
Oh. I don't know. I thought this was called a rosary plier, but they might have cutters on them. And you know what? I can't find half of my cutters. We do these shows, and sometimes it makes it hard to find your stuff. So I'm going to put my things on. I can't see anyway. All right. It's going to flatten my hair out. Oh, the spool tamer. I was about to say that.
We've been going 34 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Azalea. She's so good at that. All right. So what you're going to do, this is the tricky part, folks. I don't know if I can go tight in here, but you want to attach your 24 gauge or your 26 gauge to the 24 gauge. Now you anchor it on, make a small loop, pinch it closed. Doesn't have to be perfect. This one's not. Okay, I'm going to try and get in there and see if I can get. Is it in focus? I am not looking through the phone anymore because I can't see it.
It looks right from now, but mine is a little behind.
Okay. All right, so I'm trying to pinch that closed. Okay, got it. Now, if you have more detailed pliers, that works too. All right. You want to make sure that's on there. It doesn't have to be super tight, but pinched on so it doesn't just slide off.
Ask him if the coupon code worked, because I put it up on the screen.
All right. Okay, so got that. Now what I'm going to do, now this is for the earring. This is kind of inspired by the earring. It's actually not, it's just like the earring that Emily made. Okay, so you have your 26 gauge. It's attached. So I usually pinch off however many I'm going to need. And then just holding them so I don't have to play seek and find. I thread them right through. And they're so small, it's easier to do it this way. Sometimes you get some that are off the strand and it's a little harder. You got to play seek and find and fish them out of there. All right, I might have put too many on there. Put that back on. And I want this to go like this. Okay, so you can choose if you want it to have a wide gap around there. I think that looks better, tighter. So I had a little too extra. So if you have extra and you look at it and you're like, it could be there. This looks better like this. So you don't have to take them off. You leave them on there, right? You got it. So they're still on there on this side. And holding it firm, do one turn. Now, the thing with these little teeny tiny apatite beads is that they're fragile. Anytime you have something that's done with small holes or small beads, they can be very fragile. So don't put them in a spot like where you're going to have them, like, say, for a clasp, because they're very fragile, just like a glass bead. You don't want to use them in a load-bearing part of your design. So I just pulled some of those off. I should have counted it. Okay. But you can use seed beads for this. It's fine. Get in there. All right, so you can see what I'm doing. Now, if you leave more of this, if you attach this lower, you can make this go back and forth until you surround it like a bullseye. Okay, so then see what I have here. Let me see if it looks better with that as a background. See this? Okay, so another tricky part is to wrap that last bit. So I'm going to go under there, but I want it to be even. I'm going to try and pinch that closed. Is that in focus? Oh, it was out of the thing there. Okay, you have to do this delicately because you could break your beads if you're too aggressive. Okay. If you have a difficult time, now see what I did there? There's a teaching moment. I just smashed one of those beads. I'm going to put another one on there. I crushed it too aggressively because I was trying to close that up. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple more. And there they go. So these are kind of fussy to make. I would say they're fussy to make. They're pretty but fussy. I'm going to attach, I'm going on now higher. Just a hair higher. So I can get a hold of it. Because it's really hard to, I think one loop would be fine. but twisting it more would be better. So I just twisted that on there, and I'm going to trim it off. Straighten that out. And then on this part, I'm going to finish it off. I kind of like mixed media metals. That way it can go with whatever I'm wearing, because sometimes I wear gold, sometimes I wear silver. So I like to sneak in with several colors. So this is what we have so far. It's a little tiny bit clumsy.
That's okay, because you're doing it on camera.
Yeah, it is not easy to do this on camera.
Well, we have 20 minutes till our time is up. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So then you just finish that off. Let me see if I can get that. Now this is a fun little element that is easy to do. Sometimes you can do this where you wrap them on the outside of the ring, and that works great too. So sometimes if you have a piece of wire, and if it's easier for you, you could just wire wrap the ring. And that's a pretty old school way of wire wrap. These are modified from directions that I learned wire wrapping from like a 70s wire wrap manual. If you guys remember old gemstone wraps, it's just similar. But the way I learned it was that you went all the way around with wire. You wrap that, and it wasn't beads. But see, that could be a link, and I imagined it as an earring. So then you can dingle dangle several more. Maybe, let's see, there's some of these in there. You could probably do this, or just make it simple. You could add another one from the bottom. All right, so that is the portion of that. Hey, Azalea, are you ready for the next portion? Okay, I'm going to put this away. Maybe I'll finish it later. Everything fits in there. Okay, we have a few minutes. Let's see. Oh, I see a Facebook user that says that would be fun. Yeah, it is. It is a fun earring. It is totally fun. You guys, look at this.
Honey.
He's got to be involved. Marty, honey.
You gotta get off the table, hon.
He wants to be in on everything. All right, I had a few strands. Just pass me those, and we will begin. Some of these, I told Azalea, we're going to do some of my very, very favorites. Now, I don't have a ton of these, so we're just going to have to look. There's a few minutes of this. What's Becky say here? She says, that's one of my bucket list projects. What's the bucket list project? I was reading it, and it got away from me. That is to do with and without beads. So this is a piece I made, a piece of sapphire. I carved this on my lap grinder and drilled it. It has a really pretty shimmer. And this is lot 231 for
Explain to them
48.
how to do it.
Oh,
You just
okay. So just comment and say sold if you want this. I just have a few.
Lot number.
Yeah, you just say the lot number if you want it. So we're doing this for the end of it. These are some of my favorite things I'm sharing with you guys today. It's a hand-carved sapphire. This is the only one like it. There's no more.
And you carved it yourself.
And I carved this myself. This is, I bought this piece of sapphire at a gem show 15, 16 years ago, and put that on the lap grinder and then finished it off with a Dremel tool. It actually took me 3 hours to make this one bead. I know. But anyway, it's one of my favorites. So if anyone's interested, you can email me. Okay, that one is that. We're going to move right along because I have several things to show you guys. So I am parting. How do we buy a kit? Tina. Go to my website. Oh, I sound like Janine Garofalo. I love her. I love her. Thank you. Lot 234, 26. I know. I'm feeling loving. I'm
Those
sharing.
you can't find anywhere.
No, I know.
Those are
This is an
gone.
antique, and I priced this down. I bought the whole strand, but I'm sharing these with my friends out there. And if anyone's interested, 234, 26. It's a steal for this. Let me tell you a little bit about this. This is an antique bead from the 1700s, my friends. They made these in Amsterdam, I believe. Not quite in, not 100% was in Amsterdam, but they're Dutch. Opalescent glass. Or that's 234. 234.
Who's Facebook user that just commented that?
Yeah, you have to tell me what your name is.
Yeah, if you
I
can't
only
see
have
it,
like, I might have a couple more. Okay, so this is good times right here. You guys are gonna love it. These are some of my favorite things I'm sharing with my friends today. Look at this, $14 for Vaseline beads. I know, crazy, right? 233, lot 233. This, if you want to find this, a strand of these would be about $250. I am not joking. So.
that is lot 233.
I know that color. Isn't that crazy? I am. Okay, so if your name is coming up as Facebook user, you have to say what your name is. Because I can't read your name. This is a special thing because this is a Spring Fling day, and I'm sharing some of my favorite beads with my friends. All right, you guys know what these are. These are Dutch opalescent moon beads. I have these at $15. Average price is $5 per bead if you go buy these online. These are old. Again, they're like this. They're made during the 1700s. Actually, more like, when do you think when we look this up? We went to Picard in, I think it's in New Mexico or Arizona. I was hunting for these and I bought 2 strands that were there, and now I'm parting with some of them, feeling generous and loving. Okay, let me see. Do I have any more vintage? I have a couple more vintage things. You guys are gonna like these. I sometimes use these as clasps. This is $10. I have a couple of these. These are Victorian shoe buttons. These used to be on someone's boot, or maybe they weren't because they're awfully new looking, but they're not new. These are old. They don't make these anymore. But this is what they would button up. You see those boots from a long time ago. They're mother of pearl. And this is lot 224. And they're Victorian shoe buttons. I think I have 2 of them.
Yeah, you
Oh,
have
225,
224
and they're $10. If you guys are interested, 224, 225 Victorian shoe buttons. These make good clasps on something light. Now, I wouldn't put this on something big and heavy. This is more for like a macrame or something that has smaller, that you can put a nice small, or you could just use it as a button. Okay, that's it for those. Okay, let's see. Oh, you guys might like this. This is my friend Bob Burkett made this. Anything I had doubles of, I am parting with. This is my friend Bob made this way back in the day. He actually, the mold broke on this about 15 years ago, and he never remade it. So this is like, I don't know. I guess it's vintage because it's old. And you also can't buy it because he doesn't make them anymore. So if you want one of these skulls, an original Bob Burkett Shibu Ichi, it's a little bit hollow. It's still heavy. Silver. 223. Okay. And another one from Bob. I have 2 of these. So this is sterling 220. It's a heavy bead. This one has a pretty big hole, but it's pretty heavy. And this is a dog. I think that's supposed to be, not sure what kind of dog that's supposed to be, but it is a solid silver. This is an old design. So when I met Bob, maybe 22 years ago, he had some of these going, and he only made a handful. So this is like one of, I would say, oh, he didn't make that many because the mold busted on that from the ear being pulled out. That didn't even have that many. So if you're interested, 220. I know, it's a good one. Oh, and I had some of this. I love it. All right. So this is Hill Tribe silver. It's a high percentage of silver, not much copper. Sterling is a copper and silver mix. That's what sterling is when this says 925. So the rest, the copper gives it some color and strength. So if you look close, I have a bunch of different shapes in there, and they make these. It's kind of interesting how they make this. So what they do is they take a big bucket of cold water, and when they're casting, they take a molten, like a spoon type thing, and they heat that up, and then they drip the pieces into the water, and that's how you get these wacky shapes. And then they drill them afterwards. So they're kind of a labor-intensive bead to make, and those are silver. Okay, 221. Then I have a little bit more. Ooh, I need to go a little bit faster. I need to get the lead out. Okay, so here's some more. This is $16 for these. They're made the same way that paper beads are made, where you make a big, long triangle, and then you roll that triangle. In this case, they were soldered to make that a nice, soft, a nice shape. So this is lot 222, $16 for those. They're pretty heavy, actually. All right. This is one that Greg made. This is bronze. It's heavy, a little labor intensive to make this one. Not many of them come out. That's why I don't even make them that often, because this in pewter is pretty easy to make, but in any other metal, we have a high loss. So we don't make them in the fancy metals that often. So if you're interested in a knowledge tree that Greg made, this one is $30. A really pretty piece. And that's $228. Okay, these are old. Chalcedony. When was the last time you saw it in that color? Am I right? All right. That's $22. 232.
Terry wants to know, how do we know if we won an item? I will message you after the live or send you an invoice. Since we have so many comments coming in, I just put down the first one that comes in, and I can't like comments on StreamYard, so you'll just have to wait until afterwards, and I'll let you know if you got the one that you bidded on.
Mm-hmm. That's the way. That is the way. Okay, this is a huge piece. This is one of my strands that I high graded and took the big masher off of. This is a big piece of aquamarine. So if you're a specimen nut, this is not carved. The only part that's carved is the ends. That's how that thing grew. You guys remember Kia? She's one of my favorites. I got that from her. This is 18. If you want a big
Lot
piece
230.
of aquamarine in that pretty seafoam color, 230. Lot 230, aquamarine. It's $18. Okay, I'm coming down to the end. Okay, this is some really nice, beautiful, in fact, turquoise. I like to put these on my crochet necklaces. And so what I did today was I went through my batch and I found my very, 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 very favorite pieces and put them in and made a pile. So this one is $21. Lot 227. If you're interested in some faceted turquoise. So gorgeous. I mean, that's like a piece of the sky, isn't it? Pretty crazy about it. All right, and my favorites. You know, I'm not 100. I can't say if these are Sleeping Beauty, but I bought them because I thought they were.
Those are my favorites of the whole collection today, you guys. I'm gonna have to get fast with it.
All right, so this is, I don't know if you guys can, if you know what this is, but these are rubies. This is a
Look how
ruby.
smooth the finishes on those.
So some of them have a little bit of that kind of,
Show the lot.
oh,
Lot 226. Those are so smooth and scrumptious.
Yeah, I've been hoarding these, you guys. Hoarding. All right. So Azalea will message you. If I have extras, I'll show them to you. So I might have a few more of these in my collection. And if I have more, I can send you a picture after the fact. All right, folks. So that was the last of my lots. Now we're going to move towards the giveaways. Okay. Do I have anything else? Oh, I wanted to mention, you guys, we have a competition going on our Facebook group called the Green Girl Studios Gang, and it involves this piece right here. So if you would like to win, first prize is this. This is first prize. If you guys like this, you can try to win it because I don't make this anymore. So you get this kit off of our website. It comes with a clasp and 2 more bunnies as earring drops. And how we're working it is you just make a piece using the kit. If you want to go on, drop that link for this kit, Azalea, that'd be great so people can.
Show them this again because this one didn't sell, and neither did this one. Those are the last 2 that have not gone.
Azalea wanted to show these last 2. Anyone want this Bob Burkett puppy?
Those were shown near the beginning.
Sterling. It's this. No mas. You cannot get this anymore for love or money. This is like, people don't part with these. So you're not, I mean, the only place you probably get this is if you pick that out of somebody's private collection or they sold it on eBay or something, because these are not being made anymore and they haven't been made for 20 years. So if you're interested, $220, only $32. And then the last, if you guys like this chalcedony, it's a really pretty color. I like it. It's kind of opal-y. It's not opal, of course, it's chalcedony, but it has a neat color, how it looks like lavender in one area and like purple in another. So that's lot 232 too, if you guys are interested.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to the, what else are we looking at?
Real quick,
And she's checking if anyone picked it.
Here we go. That's for 220.
Oh no, this is 232, Azalea. Okay,
What
we'll go back.
The dog was 220. And
Oh.
that one was 232.
Oh yeah, okay. All right. So don't forget, can you drop the link to this, Azalea?
I did.
Oh, you did it already? So if you guys want in on this, this is the prize. And it's a design competition. So what you're doing is you're making something with this. This is my husband, Greg, who casts everything you guys are looking at, said, hey, I want to see what people make with this. And so he's going to judge the winner. And we'll give you another, like, till the end of April, I think. Maybe extend it a little bit. So if you want to try your hand, make something with that kit. There's a small discount if you buy the set. If you bought it separately, there'd be like an extra $5, $6 or something. So keep that in mind. All right, we're moving on to, because we only have
the giveaways. How much time do we have?
Well, we can go over like say 5-10 minutes.
All right.
And who's after us? Kay?
Yeah, but they're giving a break between us and her.
We're having a break, so it's not so chaotic.
All right, you guys, we've done these giveaways before, but instead of winning a piece, the 3 people that win a giveaway are going to win $20 gift cards. So you're going to have to guess a number between 1 and 20, and the first person I see put the number will win the first giveaway.
I'm going to flip the camera.
All right.
Where do I do it? That front. Oh, here we are.
She's showing the secrets of the background.
The background. This is like as if we're...
All right. All right. So I'm moving it. I'm trying to do something.
Oh, she's looking for the numbers. Azalea picked these. She pre-did it.
I pre-did it, so we didn't have any sort of confusion at all.
So we could be very, very fast during our thing here. She's checking the numbers.
Oh, shit.
They're coming in fast.
Oh my God.
Nobody
I know
got it
the
yet?
number. I saw somebody that did get it first, but I'm trying to. Every time I scroll up to get their name, it shoots me back down to the bottom. Norma Frank is the first person that commented 11.
Norma Frank. So if you guys listen, if you're making stuff and you can't see, get a pair of Optivisors. Check these out.
And please don't be upset if you feel like you commented 11 first, because we're looking at StreamYard and not like a specific Facebook group. And StreamYard is going to the Green Girl Studios Facebook page, the Great Bead Extravaganza group, and our YouTube. So we're getting comments from 3 different places that you might not see. So I just picked the first one that I saw. Now we're going to do a second one right now, and it's a flower.
All right,
spring
you guys.
related. So the first person to comment this spring related flower will get the second gift card for $20. Let's see what people say.
Clem says, what brand? You can buy them on Amazon. I haven't tried them. I haven't tried it at all. But this is Optivisor brand. And I've had these. I mean, look at them. You think I had these a while? I mean, I had to do my own repairs. And one day I'm going to make a special pair that are made out of leather and brass. And these are so good for seeing things up close. And how these are measured is how far away you work. So it's not necessarily the magnification. It's how far you're working from. So I have in here, this is a 3. And it's the distance that my hands are from my eyes. So you might have to test it to see which ones suit you, because everybody has a different, their distance of working is a little bit different. Oh,
it's not going to be daffodil. I did daffodil the last time we did this.
Getting closer.
You guys are getting really close to it, but you're not doing the full one. You're saying like the first part of the flower, and they're 2 different kinds.
Oh, it's not 2 different kinds.
They're not the same flower. The one that I wrote is not the same as the thing that people are commenting, because they're just getting this part and not the rest of it.
Oh, I see.
It's a 4 word. There's your gigantic hint.
Oh, she's saying there's 4
words for this one flower. Here, I already looked. Let's go to the new
see if anyone else got it.
You guys are getting closer and closer. Oh, who is Facebook user that said Lily of the Valley?
We can't read your name, so you're going to have to tell me what your name is.
Yeah, you guys got it as soon as I said it. And then somebody said Lily of the Valley first, like a minute ago, and they are a Facebook user.
I can't see what that is. Who is it?
Now everybody's saying Lily of the Valley.
Okay, but
I already told y'all.
Okay, but you have to remember Paige
Casada, you were the first person to say Lily of the Valley?
It looked like, yeah.
Sorry?
All right.
All right, the last one is an animal. This is a really easy one.
This is a super easy
one, Mom. You got to watch it while I write it down. Who is the name again? Paige Casada.
Okay, so the next one is an animal
associated with spring. That one's super easy. You guys are going to get that immediately.
That was like 10 seconds. I was behind the times.
I have to go up. You have to see the first person that commented it was Dawn Grofvert.
Groff. You have to give us like a breakdown of the spelling of your name.
All right, so that was a little bit more difficult than our usual lives, because then the comments will come in like one every second. But now it's the GB. We have 266 people watching, which is fantastic. But the comments were like boom, 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 boom. It was like
really hard to see.
It's crazy. So forgive us if you feel like you commented it first and we didn't say your name. We're looking at the first ones that we're seeing as fast as they're coming in. It's kind of difficult.
It is. And remember, StreamYard is streaming from 3 locations. So we're looking on what StreamYard is showing us. So it's not on Facebook. I can't tell what the first one on Facebook or first
the
one on YouTube.
animal was Bunny. The first person that commented Bunny we saw was Dawn Groffvert. So the 3 winners are Norma Frank, Paige Casada, and Dawn
Groffvert. Maybe
it's
Dutch.
So that's the winner. Those are the winners of our 3 $20 gift cards. And we're probably going to start doing gift cards more often because it's a little easier to keep track of for giveaways. And it's like immediate. We don't have to ship anything extra to anybody or forget it. So you will get an emailed gift card after the live from me.
All right.
It will probably come in as Azalea Ogden, and it'll be a $20 gift card for our website. And you can either keep it for yourself or send it to somebody else. So,
Okay, friends, what we will do is sometimes we pick out things and put like a free inside, like cereal. So we will when all the packages are filled, we have them open, like the envelopes are sitting there open, and we like to put in free insides in some of them. Who knows who will win? Who knows? It's a mystery. But if you open it up and you have something in there and you're like, and it has like a little heart on it, don't send it back to me. It's not a mistake. Now we've had people do this. They've sent it back. That's a present for you. And it'll
if
have
you
a
have an
star
extra
or a heart.
piece, it was done on purpose.
So that's your free inside, just like old school cereal boxes. So we went over about 5 minutes. Sorry about that. I'm glad that we have that little bit of a wiggle room. So don't forget tonight we have Kay following us. And I think, you know what? We have Lisa Nevin Kelly joining our TGBE. And I tell you, I was so excited to hear that she's joining us because I don't know if you guys know Lisa, but she is delightful. She's so delightful. And she teaches metalsmithing. So,
one last question to answer. Let's see, where did it go? Kimberly Crawford asks, is the moon clasp available on its own? It will be.
It will be
make
eventually,
a new listing for it in probably different metals, preferably silver. We'll have another listing for just the moon clasp, and then one where it's just the moon.
Well, usually for silver, we're not probably going to put that on the website. We're doing silver and fancy metals on our Sunday evening lives.
We go live at pretty much every Sunday at 7, and you'll get, if you subscribe to our email campaign or our email list on our website, you'll receive emails about that.
Right. So also I do sometimes I'll do a free download. So if you sign up for our email, I'm going to send you a paper doll. You never know what's going to happen. It's completely random. So, and it's not always, you never know what's going to happen. So thank you guys so much for being in our club. And we love you all out there. We hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope if you have missed any of the presentations, they're all available to stream again on our replay. So you can watch any of them. You might not be in on the giveaways, but it's still good times. There's a ton of knowledge happening here. And if you like what you're seeing, be sure to share and spread the word. Tell your friends about this group so we can keep it going, keep it happening. So everyone, we hope you have a wonderful afternoon. And don't forget about our 20% off coupon for the website.
Spring Fling 20, just like everybody else in GBE. You can use that for the next 2 days. So until 2:30 p.m. on April 25th, that code will be live. So if you use Spring Fling 20 in all caps, no spaces on your order, it should take 20% off of your order for the next 2 days for Spring Fling. And then I'll email those gift cards to our winners of the giveaway, and we'll have another giveaway next weekend. So Thank you guys for joining us. We've gone 8 minutes over our time, so there's a good thing. There's a little break. But we'll see you guys next Sunday. Thank you for joining us tonight or this afternoon. Goodbye.
Thank you.